Good evening, class. My name is ATM Burnett. I do apologize for not being available for our first SureSync session. However, there was a prior equipment. I had to be at church this evening for a church meeting. So I will present the questions that are outlined within the description of the assignment. The first question is, what are key characteristics that distinguish professionals from other kinds of workers, and is an IT worker considered a professional? I will try to paraphrase my paper to you, so I'm not reading verbatimly from the paper itself. However, there are several different characteristics that distinguish our professionals from other kind of workers, and what I did was I found an article based by the Advance of Business of Healthcare. They had 10 different characteristics of professionalism. Those were a neat appearance, professional demeanor, reliability, competent communicators, good phone etiquette, poised, ethical, organization, accountable. With those 10, I chose the top 3 that I thought that would probably exist across any business unit or any organization. And those top 3 were proper demeanor, reliability, and ethics. As you can see, one of our key things that we talk about in this class are ethics, and here's that magical mystical word again. You just really can't get away with not having an ethical stance. And basically, I believe that ethics is a cornerstone of all organizations because you should have some type of value to give to your organizational structure. I think in this class already we used Enron as an example in our very first discussion. If there was an ethical background within the company, maybe millions of people wouldn't have lost, or better said, maybe people wouldn't have lost millions of dollars of money. So basically, ethics were pretty out the door, and people were just concerned about making the almighty dollar. Professionals should be reliable in all the actions that they do, especially as far as an IT perspective, and any kind of work that you pretty much do as a part of your work duties. Your proper demeanor should be used with any type of stakeholder. And basically that means that as an IT professional, you're touching various parts of an organization. You are able to, bank accounts. You are able to use networks. You're able to keep infrastructure connected. In many cases, if those infrastructures are not connected or working properly, the whole overall business will not be effective. And that kind of really rolls into talking about information technology workers, and do we consider them a part of a professional organization? That is very definitely a yes. Communication is essential to success of all information technology professionals because their work reaches across all business units. Technology has given organizations the ability to communicate digitally, but it does have some factors involved. You look at some of our companies who do our credit checks with Equifax. You have put people in positions where if you're not protecting them and protecting their data, you're getting their information, addresses, phone numbers, credit card information, social security numbers, all that, affecting individuals and not having a proper security around your network itself. So there's a lot that goes into what we do as IT professionals. It's a lot more than ones and zeros because now technology has actually reached different markets in different places. And I think I'll touch more on that with the next question, which is what factors are transforming the professional service industry? And as I move further down in my paper, I found another article that is going to produce different factors that have transformed the professional service industry. There are 5: social media, the virtual firms and professional industries, value-oriented revenue model, emerging modular models, and automation of back-end services. And social media, if you think about it, is a beast because you have online clients, you have marketing, you have e-commerce, just to name a few. And all these things are done at the touch of a click of a computer. Ideally, a person can live at home and probably never leave the house because you have so many different venues of now that Amazon will send groceries to your home. You can get anything on Amazon. You can probably find things on eBay. And we have to be able to support the network structure because we're looking at the personal information that is out there. You know, if you don't protect people's information, then you're putting them at risk. And not only are you putting them at risk, you're putting yourself at risk for lawsuits. Another one is the day of brick and mortar stores are actually, I would say, in some aspects have decreased. And with professionals working remotely, I technically, for what I do, I really don't have to go in office. My manager would be okay with me working from home, but some jobs are really truly, just remotely. So having that communication established and having a secure pathway to do that is also another essential thing to look at as well too when you look at that virtual type firm or professional industries. Moving on further, we look at the companies that support third-party aspects. So the value or the revenue model. It's actually, from a business standpoint, you reduce your overhead when you carry contractors. So, you can contract the person out and not be a part of your business unit. You're not supporting them, but they maybe possibly 401k and different benefits. You're just paying out salary. So that is changing in the way people work as far as the workforce is concerned, the way it's designed. That is affected by that particular model. As I move further down to the emerging modules, I called out something that's really dealing with HR. And one of the biggest things out there in HR, I think now, is a platform called Workday. It's real popular. What it does is it offers different modules. And you get software for financial management, human resources, and planning. And with this, a company does not have to put all their eggs in one batch. I can use certain services. So now you're picking and choosing what is going to be ideally beneficial to your company by using certain parts of your product in the overall. So that's one of those key points. Automation and back end, it helps eliminate paperwork-driven processes and does services all digitally. This organization has the ability to store information and give the ability to get data quickly versus the old school file cabinet. In true to that fashion, we are now saving more data online. I was at a conference one time, or when I was back in Japan, a guy told me basically, that was presenting a conference, he's like, careful what you put on the web. Ideally, you put it up there and then you actually go back and delete it. And he's like, no, there are servers out there that are replicating information, and they just keep storing data. So nothing is ever private on the World Wide Web. But to that point, we're now moving away from a paper society, and we're going more digital because we can store more information. It protects the trees, and we don't kill as many. Save a tree by going digital. So basically, all these factors have transformed our professional industry, and we're seeing that professionals are really being more involved with the skill sets that they can bring overall to an organization. Last question was, what relationship must an IT worker manage, and what key ethical issues can arise in each? I went the route of talking about a risk management framework and this type of lifecycle management for IT professionals. And I chose this because understanding the structure of how we communicate to our employers or with people within our stakeholders is very important. Having that type of structure. One of my daily challenges as a professional is having to present information to people who do not fully understand, and they are the people who make the decisions overall for the ultimate network design or projects that we may work on. That is a major gap because ideally, when you think from an ethical perspective, you are trying to present your product or what you do in a very ethical manner because it sustains and it protects the overall business unit. But if you don't have that ability because the people whom you work with don't support or understand the full picture, that is a gap that with the risk management framework, it could help mitigate that based upon the way the outlook and the design of the program is presented. So I use that as a roadmap in order to increase ethical issues and overall an ethical work environment for or within your organization. So that is my interpretation of the questions for Sync Session 1. I look forward to participating in our next Sync session in about 2 weeks. I also did present the references that were a part of my assignment as well too. You take care, and I will see you in the discussion. Thank you very much.